Devinder Sharma is a food policy analyst and agricultural expert who has spent the last 30 years working to improve the lot of India's farmers. Today, he is addressing the Kisan Sansad on Parliament Street.
सारी फसलों के लिए अक्सर ये सुनते हैं हम भी कहा जाता है कि साहब एमएसपी था है और आगे रहेगा ये इशू है ही नहीं है इशू ये है कि देश के सारे किसानों को एमएसपी मिले
Listen to him as he tells you in less than 3 minutes what's wrong with the Indian economy and how it can be fixed.
What the policymakers and the economists need to understand is that the kind of economic policies or the kind of reforms that we are trying to bring in agriculture have actually failed everywhere in the world. Now, when the reforms have failed everywhere in the world, and we think the same failed reforms will do a miracle in India, I think this short-sightedness has to go. A. B, the biggest problem with our economic thinking is that we do not realize that agriculture alone has the potential to at least double your GDP now. Why I'm saying this? Look at it. We have 50% of the population directly involved with agriculture. If you add the indirectly involved population, we are roughly 70% of the population, because there are studies which show that 70% of the rural households are engaged with agriculture. Now, considering that factor, imagine if every farmer was to get a minimum support price or was to get a price that he richly deserves, which would mean that the demand will go up. In the language of the economists, the demand will go up because if every farmer has more money in his hand, he will obviously spend it in the market. And once the demand goes up, and imagine the demand, 50% population having more money, the demand will not be a booster dose for the economy, it will be a rocket dose for the economy. And we are struggling at, let's say, in good times, we used to have a GDP of 8% or 9%, the best that we have had. I am sure if MSP was to be made a legal right for farmers, our GDP would gallop more than or higher than 15%. Isn't that the economic path the country should follow? Why is it that we are actually sucking income from the bottom to the top? This is happening at a time when globally we have realized that the rich are becoming rich and poor are becoming poor. The inequality, the main cause is that we are deliberately keeping agriculture impoverished. And once you keep agriculture impoverished, the entire, the supply chain works in a manner that it actually sucks income from the bottom to the top. Now that has to change. And I think here is a great opportunity for India. Use this farmers' agitation in a manner to bring about what really should a reform be looking like, which means a reform which is people-oriented, which benefits the people, and which benefits the country. I don't know why our economists can't understand this simple logic. Perhaps the reason is that they didn't read this in the economic textbooks. Economics 101 teaches you that you have to move people out of agriculture or out of the villages into the urban areas. And that is what our policymakers are doing. I think the time is that even the policymakers, even the economists, mainland economists, need to look beyond textbooks. Go and spend some days in the villages and you will draw your lessons. That's the kind of economy the country needs. Let's forget about the corporate-driven economy. It hasn't done benefit to any country in the world, and every country now is rethinking on what kind of economics they should usher in. Whether you call it the Green Deal or whether you call it degrowth, there is a kind of a new debate going on in the country. And I think we are 10 years behind what is happening globally. Our economists are still continuing with the policies that the rich country used to have 10 years back. When will we grow up? Come on, I think let's be tuning our understanding of economy in tune with what is happening globally today. If they are asking question, why are we not asking question? Why are we still bringing in policies which have failed everywhere in the world? The farmers today understand that the kind of inequality they are facing is the result of an economic design. And I think it is becoming clear to them. And that is, I think, the biggest achievement. I could have never imagined farmers sitting on a protest like this for 8 months, let's say 5 years back. So it's a very big change.